Call your next witness, please.
Mike Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, before you sit down, once you raise your right hand, she's going to swear you in.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give will be the truth and the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Have a seat and kind of adjust the microphone so you can talk right into it. There you go. And I'll ask you at this time to state your name and then spell your name for us. Go ahead.
Michael Rogers, Michael Rogers.
Thank you, sir. Counsel?
Mr. Rogers, how long have you lived in Baker County?
Roughly since 2001.
2001?
Yes, sir.
Do you know Rhonda Jewell?
Yes, sir.
How did you first meet Rhonda Jewell?
Actually, I worked at Winn-Dixie in the early 90s. I worked with her when I was at Winn-Dixie.
Is that here over in Jacksonville?
No, right here in McClenny.
Right here in McClinton, okay. After you stopped working with Miss Jewell, did you re-encounter her at some point after that?
Throughout the years, yes, sir.
Did there ever come a time when you asked Rhonda Jewell to care or sit for any of your children?
Yes, sir, I did.
And how many children do you currently have?
2.
And can you tell me their ages?
At this time, 6 and 8.
Those boy and a girl or
2 girls.
2 girls? Mr. Rogers, do you remember when you asked Rhonda Jewell to care or sit for your children?
Yes, sir. It was probably in late October of 2016 when my oldest daughter was born.
When was she born?
She was born in September.
Was there a reason you were seeking out some child care services?
Yes, sir. At the time, me and my wife didn't. We had a family member that was going to keep our kids, and it kind of fell through. So I was kind of grabbing at strings to try to find someone to watch my kids, so my wife could go back to work and myself can go back to work.
And how did you ask Mrs. Jewell to do this? Where did you find her at?
I was actually in the right next door to where her. I was next door to where her sister has a beauty salon, and I had walked inside the beauty salon and was asking.
Did Miss Jewell volunteer to do that?
Yes, sir.
Did you immediately hire her at that point?
No, not at that point. I asked her to come meet my wife because my wife did not know her at the time.
Did that occur?
Yes, sir.
So after she met with your wife, was she asked or hired to babysit
Yes,
or
sir,
care
she was.
for your daughter that was born in 2016?
Yes, sir.
Starting after that, how often did she babysit or care for your child?
She cared for the kids as long as I cared for the one child at the time before we had the second child during school hours of between 7:30 and 3:30 every day, whenever school was open.
When your second child came along 2 years or so later, do you remember, did you ask her to start watching that child as well?
Yes, sir, I did, which was, she was born in February 18 and of 2018, and then she started watching her in late April of 2018.
So at one point she was watching both of them?
Sir?
One point she was watching both of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where does she normally watch your children at?
At my house.
That's here in Baker County?
Yes, sir.
Did she ever take them anywhere or watch them anywhere else?
Yes, sir. She took them to the park and so forth, and sometimes would come and take them to her house.
Did you ask Mrs. Jewell to also go on vacations to help watch the children as well?
Yes, sir, I sure did.
When did that start?
Started after the second child because of having two children was a little bit more of a handful. So I asked her to come on vacation with us and help us watch the children.
When did she stop watching your two kids? Approximately.
Approximately about a year ago.
Before this incident we're here about?
Yes, sir.
Was there ever a time, Mr. Rogers, when Mrs. Jewell had your children for an extended period of time?
Yes, sir. As many know, in 2022, I had a cardiac arrest and was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I had emergency surgery, had a PICC valve put in, and was out for. I was unconscious for 2 weeks, and then also after the third week, I came home. So she kept my children 24 hours.
For 24 hours a day for approximately 3 weeks.
Yes, for 21 days, actually.
How many?
21 days.
21 days. At any point in time, during all the times that Rhonda Jewell cared for your children, did you ever have any concerns for their safety?
No, sir.
Were they well cared for?
Yes, sir.
Did she appear engaged and attached to your children?
Very attached to my kids.
You had occasions to be around her when she was actually caring for your kids?
Yes, sir, I was.
Just a moment. Mr. Rogers, are you aware of Rhonda Jewell's reputation in the community for providing good quality child care?
Objection again, Your Honor.
Judges?
You can ask that one question, and then we'll see if he does the next one.
Are
Yes,
you,
sir.
You are.
Yes, sir. That was the reason why I asked her to watch my children.
Have you spoken to other people in the community about Rhonda Jewell's child care abilities?
Yes, sir.
I have no other question, Your Honor.
State have any questions?
Very brief, Judge. Just to make it clear, on the day that this occurred of July 19th, you were not anywhere near State Street. You were not a witness to what occurred on that day.
No, sir, I was at work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions of this witness?
No other questions.
Sir, you are excused, subject to recall, so that means if you'll just wait outside for a little
Yes, sir.
while. Let's see. Would you call your next witness, please?